Hello, this is the follow-up to my Meadow Grass video. This time we're going to be adding some flowers. The first step is to get rid of some of the colour of the grass that's already there so that the flowers will go on nice and cleanly. I've got a couple of methods for doing that, both of which I'm using one of these eraser shields. This one's a helix one. It's very just flimsy metal. Various different shapes, and I've also got one that I bought a while ago from eBay. I think they don't cost much. This one I think only cost about £3 off eBay. This one's the one I'm going to be using because it's got more of the shapes I need. It's got a variety of circles which I can use for the flower heads, but I mean you could have done it easily with these ones as well, but this is the one I'm going to use today. So the first method I'm going to show you is using an electric eraser. This one I think is a Jacquard one. I've also got a Derwent one as well, but we use this one for today. They rub the pencil off a lot quicker than you can do with a manual one, so the pencil actually comes off rather than being smudged in. Press the button down and hold it, and it just keeps on going. So let's have a go and see if this will come off. I'm not doing it on my actual work, I'm doing it on a test piece because then I can actually talk to you at the same time without worrying about I'm going to do anything wrong that I can't fix later. So easy enough, put the pencil eraser shield down, press the button on the eraser and rub off the area you want to get rid of. And as you can see, you don't need much pressure, and you're left with a white circle that you can easily fill in with coloured pencil to create a flower, buttercup, whatever you want to create. And it gives you a nice easy white background to work on rather than having a funny sludgy green colour. And there's a little buttercup. Okay, so that's the first method. I prefer the second method that I'm going to show you. Again, I'm using the eraser shield, but this time I'm going to use some Scotch tape with it. This is called magic tape. It's not as clear as normal. It's a slightly white colour, you can see. I've seen it done before that you can lie it on and just scribble on the tape and then lift it off. The trouble is with that, if you do that and then draw on it, the area you want comes off, but you're also at risk of getting other areas lift off alongside it. So you can see I've lifted pencil off even though I didn't press very hard on it. So rather than just using the tape on its own, I'm using the eraser shield again, and then with a little bit of the tape, put it across the shield. And then I use, in this case, I'm going to use one of these Styluses. Let's explain these to you. These ones are Derwent ones. They've got two different ends. They've got two ends that way and two different sized ends that way. So they're quite handy for doing whiskers and impressing areas in your work that you don't want your pencil to fill in straight away. So they're quite handy. They're Derwent. You don't need something like this. You could also use a biro that's run out of ink, or even a barbecue stick, something like that, a skewer. I mean, these ones are easy enough to sand to a point to make sure you get to the nice sharp point that you need for the work you're doing. So you just want something that isn't going to mark on the sellotape, because if you use a biro with ink in, obviously then you can't see exactly what you're lifting off. So for today I'm going to use one of these Styluses. I lay the masking shield onto the work, and as you can see there's no danger of the sellotape sticking. And with the stylus I can draw in whatever shape I want to lift off, and it just lifts up nicely. And as you can see here, I don't know whether you can actually tell, you can see the pencil that's lifted off, and then obviously there it's just more of a natural shape as opposed to being a proper circle that again you can fill in. I'll use the yellow again. These only have to be loosely done. They're going to be fuzzy in the background anyway on my drawing, so I'm not too worried about my buttercups looking like buttercups. They just got to look like little yellow flowers. So again, nice and easy. Do a little bigger one. If you've done lots of layers and put a lot of firm lines in, some of them might not lift off as cleanly. Because I've used light layers, this is lifting quite well. The other point is, if you've used blending spirits, then you may find that you can't get back to the white of the paper. Some of the marks might still remain and you'll have to work around that. It's going to involve some trial and error. Yes, if you do use the spirits, it will obviously it might stop it from lifting quite so easily. And you can see, you just take the tape off, reposition it, and you can do as many flowers as you like, nice and easily. A bit more clover. There we go. And the stronger colours can go over the green okay anyway. It just means that you are keeping your flowers that little bit brighter rather than looking sludgy and brown from the green of the grass. There we go. Another handy tip is to use this to add highlights to your work. So if you've got a lot of green in your grass and you want to add a bit of light into it, again, use the tape stuck down and you can lift off small areas. You can even put a little bit of a highlight on this buttercup and just brighten areas up a little bit. And you can then either rework them with a lighter shade of green, or you can use white to lift the colours. Obviously you can use this technique as well on shiny objects and eyes to create a highlight. It's a lot easier than trying to preserve it or using a large eraser. And that's it, finished flowers. I'll post more updates as I work on the actual drawing on my Facebook page. Thank you for watching.